Himmelswester Ausschrift aber alle die ganze Familie.
You often see holy sites. Very often they have churches, right? Either there or where they think it was, or you see what's left after an archaeological dig is over, okay? Now after 2,000 years, almost nothing is left except from waist down, right? You see the bottom parts of the walls. Here you're going to see whole buildings that we have made completely. But they're very carefully based on the building styles and the materials that they were using 2,000 years ago. Also, you're going to see people dressed in first century clothing, walking around and living life as Jesus would have lived it. As we go through, you can take, as I said, as many of everything as you like. Okay?
We have the other thing.
On a slope, you can't farm unless you create flat space, right? Because if you start planting things, the rain comes and it washes all your soil away. So you have to move some earth to get to the rock and cut a big stone step into the hill. Here on the bottom, or full of crushed limestone, and on top they put the brown fertile layer. The way this works is when the rain comes, it waters the plants on top. But when the water reaches down to the white layer, it doesn't absorb much water. Most of the water flows across that layer through the stone wall and down the hill onto the next terrace and the next terrace. It's a kind of self-irrigation water system, and it uses the rainwater as much as possible. And we know that they were growing grapes because we found a wine press. And inside of the vat below the press we found pieces of pottery from the early Roman period. This means that it was being used in Jesus' time. Now, I'm sorry, these are not 2,000-year-old sandals, but they would have looked something like it.
Pretty.
You've never seen rosemary before. Also, some of them are flowering at this nice little purple
Rosemary. Ooh, it's a huge rosemary bush.
And here we are on the farm, surrounded by olive trees.
Ooh, nice.
In case you've never seen them before, the gray-green look is very typical of the olive. We are in the picking season, October, November. Let's keep walking and talking. Just watch your step. We're in the picking season. We started a bit early this year because we had a very long, hot summer and dry, and so the olives were ready early. You can see, for example. Thank you. Nazareth is where we get the word for Nazareth from. Nazareth. Nazareth. So Nazareth means new shoot. And also, these are the babies of the tree. You want to plant a new olive tree? You cut the netzel off with a piece of the root that it's growing on. You transplant it, and this is how you get a new olive tree. It's almost impossible to grow an olive from the pit of the olive. This is the standard way. And so in Isaiah, in chapter 11, verse 1, talks about this picture. It's very significant because he's talking, it makes us think of descendants, right? He says a new shoot will grow up from the roots of Jesse. That's the word netzel again. Right?
Okay, so this is a 400-year-old olive tree, and those are netzars growing out of the base of it, like you should.
They're green.
It's pretty cool. 400-year-old olive tree.
In the spring. But if you wait long enough until this time of year, the outside goes tough. Is the nut that you eat. Now this is all dried up, right?
dry
But
up.
this is basically the almond dried up, okay?
Okay.
This is not, these trees are not good fruit trees, so we don't
Yeah.
generally harvest them or eat them. But the nut inside is the almond that you would eat.
That's an almond tree.
Yeah, these are almonds. So they're
Wow.
biblical trees. Don't
Here's why
eat
we
it
eat.
because it'll be disgusting.
Dry up.
It's an almond tree. I've never seen an almond tree before.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stop at our threshing floor because there's really nothing to see. But in midsummer, because we put the wheat in a circle and pull the threshing board over them, and then also we have winnowing forks. Although they're a bit broken, they need to be fixed. But basically, you throw the stuff in the air, the wind blows away the light stuff, and the wheat, which is heavy, falls down, and we gather it together. Okay? So, but that was just very brief because there's really nothing to see here at this time. And we also have sheep.
Yeah.
And this is Abraham, our shepherd.
Oh, Abraham.
Thank you, Abraham. Feel free to come and pet them if you like. Now, this picture of shepherd and sheep is extremely, extremely biblical. Yes, I know, amen. All girls, and they're all pregnant. Okay? So that's why they look kind of big. They're normally not this fat. Okay? All over the Hebrew Bible, God is using this picture. I know, amen. To talk about his relationship with his people. And it's in that context that Jesus comes and he starts using the same word. Here's the disciples who lived with him are very clear. He ate, he slept, he cried, he got tired, right? And he's using language that refers to God. This sounds like blasphemy. What we've got over here is a replica of a tomb or a grave. We've got limestone formations in the hill here, right? This is natural, God made it, okay? But this shape here is not natural. Men with iron tools cut this from the rock. Right here below it, we have the vat. I have about 1 meter deep, 1.5 meters across, 70 centimeters wide in an oval shape. Right here. Clearly, this is man-made. Okay? If you wonder what the rain makes over the years, look over here. Okay, you see the little horizontal cavelet here? The rain makes these. Rain can't cut vertical shafts like these. Okay? And inside the dirt here, the earth, we dug up, we found those pieces of pottery that I mentioned at the start from Jesus' time. The terraces that you see up above here, they were also here. They were just very broken, covered up with earth. We dug them up and rebuilt them. The combination of all these things here in one place tells us very clearly we've got a vineyard here in Jesus' time. It doesn't have any sense.
So from the vineyard up
It
there,
makes you drunk, right? If you drink too much.
they put the grapes here on the press, then they stomp on it on their feet. And then the juice
but
flows out
alcohol,
through this
besides making us drunk,
carving in the rock into this vat.
preservative.
And then people
So
come and bring
it
their new
makes the wine
wineskins
keep for a long time.
and
So
fill up their
without
wineskins from here.
The juice, instead
Pretty
of
cool, huh?
spilling, you can drink it, turns into wine without it doing anything. Again, how convenient. Wonder who came up with that idea.
Hot.
So, the Lord tells the second generation out of Egypt in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 8, about the good land that he's bringing them into. This land. Back then it was called the land of Canaan. It was the Canaanites that lived there. He says, this land is blessed by me, and he lists 7 plants and trees that give good fruit. These is a cousin of oregano in thyme. We call it locally za'atar. Za'atar is the main ingredient in the spice mix. Za'atar that is edible. Yes, it's in the oregano thyme family. There's many plants. Yeah, a different plant. As far as I know, it's a different. They look totally different, smell totally different. Okay. Hi everyone, this is Saul.
Shalom.
And we're in our olive press. Okay, we already spoke about picking the olives, October, November. We put them, the olives, in the stone basin, as Saul is going to show us.
Oh, yeah.
This.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And now, just watch out. We're going to do a demonstration. Yalla, Mosey, yalla. And Mosey, our donkey, is going to show us how it's done. Listen to the sound of the cracking olives. That is the sound of the pit of the olive being crushed. This time, when the olives, we crush everything, including the pit of the olive. Okay?
Yeah.
The stone is very heavy, right? 600 or 700 kilos. We take the olive mash and we fill specially made baskets like these with the mash from the basin. It's kind of an oily mash, sort of the consistent of sort of wet bread dough. Okay? We fill the sides of the baskets. Okay? And then we take the full baskets and we bring them over here. Come on down this. Now, the big wood beam here are the presses. We have two setups on both sides of the room. Right here underneath the beam where I'm standing, there's a hole built into the floor. Okay? It's about a ½ meter or ½ yard deep. On top of the hole, we stack our baskets full of crushed olives. And then we lower the beam to squeeze the stack of baskets like this. The oil and the water drip into the hole in the floor, but God happened to make oil lighter than water. Nice. We just wait a little bit. The oil floats to the top, and we can scoop the oil off the top of the water. We have 3 different stages, 3 pressings, where we progressively add more and more weight to get more oil from the same baskets. And so you can see in the pit the 3 stone weights. They're about 500 kilos or 1,100 pounds each. We lift them up with the winches that are installed in the beam, and this adds more pressure to our press. Okay. So first we put the baskets in, we lower the pulley down to put the beam on, then one by one we lift stones. So the first press oil, this is the best oil. This is virgin olive oil. This is also the first fruits, so it's holy to God. We think that most of the virgin oil will be sent to the temple in Jerusalem in Jesus' time. For example, to light the menorah, the 7-branch candelabra in the holy place in the temple. The second oil is for food, medicine, cooking, perfume, and cosmetics. The third oil is the lowest quality oil. No problem. They used it to light oil lamps like these. And also to make soap. Done.
Bye.
Like anti. So if you get that in your mouth, that's nasty business. Yeah. It's nasty business, but the oil is not like that. But it is influenced by those chemicals. So it's very sharp. Extremely healthy. As you can see, the tools of carpentry have not changed a whole lot in 2,000 years. He's got in a mallet in his hand, a wood mallet or a wood hammer, with the little chisel. Thank you. Chisel. He actually has a few different chisels. Let's show them, Joe. Okay, different sizes, different shapes for different jobs. Now you might ask, why is he using a wood mallet with a chisel? Why not use a hammer?
Yeah.
Well, that's because if you use metal on wood, you'll break the handle very, very quickly, maybe within a few hours at most. Okay? Wood on wood preserves the wood handle, no problem. You're good for months probably or more. Okay? This is an interesting tool. We call it an adze. It's a multi-tool. We got an axe on one side and a hammer on the other, but we have the third special use. Okay, awesome. To shave off little bits of wood off the top. We got two black volcanic stones, basalt. The rough one he uses for sanding. What is this?
A level.
Nope.
Fire starter.
Right idea, but think carpenter.
Oh, it's a drill.
Yeah, there you go. This is called a bow drill. Bow drill. It's got a bow and it's a drill. They make both. Maybe you've heard of Makita, Bosch. Black and don't hurt your head.
Oh, sorry.
Coming!
We get a few different colors from pomegranate skins. You may not have realized there's different types of pomegranate. Sweet, sour, and sweet and sour. We make juice or eat the inside, and then from the skins we make the colors. More expensive is the spice saffron for a deep golden color, right? This is the inside of a flower, right? Very expensive, yes? But the most expensive are the blues and the purples. Blue and purple are very, very expensive to make. In this part of the world back then, what they used was, you guessed it, sea snails. Not the shell, but the animal inside. So you gotta go to salt water and find thousands of these. You have a complicated process to get blue and purple, and you need a special fixative to make the colors stick to the wool. Wow, that's a lot of work. This is why blue and purple became known as the colors for kings and emperors, because only very, very rich people could afford to buy clothes that were made just with these colors. And with the spindle, she spins more thread. Although she's so skilled, it kind of does look like magic. She is rubbing the fingers of her left hand, spinning the spindle with her right, and she pulls at the top like this to control the thickness of the thread.
Oh, yeah.
She makes it look easy because she has 2018 years of experience.
Very professional.
Ladies, it's all that olive oil. It's really good for your skin, you know what I'm saying? Machine.
This one here.
בצילו חימדתי, בצילו ישבתי,
לצילו כימדתי ופריו מתוק לחיכי. It's part of a worship song in Hebrew. The words are taken from the Song of Solomon. It basically compares the beloved to If you're the Messiah, you're supposed to get rid of the Romans, not to save them. What Jesus is teaching goes totally against all their hopes. Everything that they've been expecting would happen when the Messiah finally shows up. And so when they hear what Jesus is teaching, this must be some kind of false teaching, a false Messiah. And therefore he's worthy of death. And they think they're doing the right thing by going out to kill him. They were watching and waiting for the Savior, the Messiah, and when he came in front of them, they decided to kill him because of false expectations. I don't know what's going on in your culture today, but in my culture, oh God, if only we had more honest politicians. No, we need better laws, better government. Wait, no, we need more money. Economy, we need a better economy. If we had that, everything would be better. Really? When Jesus showed up, God in the flesh, he said to us, are you tired yet? Are you weary? Then come to me. I will give you rest. What kind of man would stand in front of other people and say such a thing? He's not just a man.
You did good.